He's going to get down here first.
Look at Andrew Tate flying.
Protected that.
The most desirable. But is there an advantage to being in lane 2 or 3 where maybe you can get on the throttle a little bit earlier out of the out of the turns?
Oh, absolutely there's an advantage. Lane 1 is only an advantage if there's two things. One, it's got good water down there in turn 1. Madison, Indiana is a perfect example. That big hole sits down in turn 1 in lane 1, and it ended up biting Andrew Tate because he fell in that hole. So it's only good if the water down there is good, and usually right out of the box, this first turn is okay. By the end of the heat, it gets really, really rough. And the other piece to that puzzle is if you're going to be in lane 1, do not, under any circumstance, don't be late.
Don't fall behind.
Don't be late, because that guy in lane 2 has got the rule book in his hand, and the rule book says lane 1 is defined as 30 feet of lane space from the buoy to the outside and imaginary line. It's 30 feet wide, and if we're using Tate and Shane in this discussion, if Jimmy was to get a little bit of a lead and he had Tate on the inside and they go to the corner, what he can do is give him 30 feet 1 inch. And I think we'll see the lanes tighten up a little bit as we go further through the day. Jimmy yesterday running on the outside was given at least 2.5 lanes to J. Michael Kelly. He was certainly driving him clean, as we say, but look for those lanes to tighten up a little bit as the afternoon goes on. Looking at the clock real quick, we're coming up on 1 to the 5. Mark, 1 minute to the 5-minute gun.
And they'll give us 1 minute to talk with Terry Marie Fleshman with the Tri-City Sunrise Rotary, and I know that you have a very special area for special needs folks that want to come down and enjoy the races that the Rotary's been putting on the Tri-City Sunrise Rotary for years.
That's right. This is our 8th year, and we are providing a cool area. It's a perfect position where you can have viewing. There's misters, there's water. You have several of our Rotarians are right there to help people. Ideally, it's for people that are in wheelchairs and walkers and difficulty walking. We also have a shuttle service to help them to get from one space to another.
Awesome effort.
Right.
Well done, Terry.
Thank you.
And for people that want more information about that, how can they go about finding that?
All they have to do is call my number, 947-1106.
947-1106. Terry, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
That's right up near the Veterans Memorial, by the way. Excellent effort by the Tri-City Sunrise Rotary. All right, boats are heading out of the pits as we get ready for Heat 3A, presented by Par Lumber. In our lineup, the 1, Delta Reel Track with Andrew Tate. The 6, Miss Home Street with Jimmy Shane. The 7, Boitano Homes, driver Burke Henderson. Jamie Nielsen. In the 11, J&D's presents Reliable Diamond True. And the 99.9, Darryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance with Brian Perkins.
And 4 of those boats have left the dock. There goes the 11. He'll be the last one off the dock. Bert Henderson will be the first one here. Tire Factory turn 2, followed by Jimmy Shane. It looks like maybe the 1 will be behind him with the 99.9 right to his left. And Tom Thompson is still, I don't think, up on plane over in the dock. So
Jamie Nielsen.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, he started up on a plane, then it fell back down. He's still got the candle lit. He'll be coming. He's all right. Come on, Jamie.
And I made that first mistake of the weekend. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen.
Maybe he does have a problem. He is turning to the right.
He's heading back.
Boy, we saw this. You've been mentioning Tom Thompson. We saw this with Tom a year ago, if you remember, in one of the prelims.
Let's go to the top end of the course.
Yes.
Into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Jimmy Shane will be on the inside. Andrew Tate on the outside. As they come onto the front stretch, heading to the Bosch Thermador Appliances start-finish line on our News Radio 610 KONA broadcast. Brian Perkins onto the front stretch. He's way outside. Henderson just at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Boat parade is coming down the front stretch with Shane, Tate, Perkins, and Henderson. Countdown continues to the start of Par Lumber Heat 3A.
And the U11, Jamie Nielsen definitely turning back
towards the pit, so he will not be a part of this, it looks like.
3 minutes, Michael.
He's still got some time. If he can get up on plane and maybe get that thing going, he can take another hard
He's got
right.
2 minutes.
Who's going to make the first move across the infield?
Well,
Andrew
Kevin,
Tate.
look at those two guys right in front of you.
Oh, wow. That is a pretty sight. That's going to be a sight I think we'll see. Those two within about a rooster tail of each other for most of this heat. This 1 and this 6. Now, Andrew Tate flying up the backstretch. Maybe he's going to try to get out in front and dump over to lane 1.
Henderson found the rough water in Tire Factory turn 2.
He did, but I think he's also keeping it easy, trying to find where does he want to cross over. If he wants to cross over,
Not yet.
it is
Not yet.
It's not a great time to do it yet, no.
Oh, what's Shane doing?
No, they're all headed to the top end of the course. They're at Freedom Equipment Rental turn number 3.
Shane just about dropped off plane up there. He's way behind. Remember that 2 minute mark?
Andrew Tate did the leapfrog and took lane number
Sure
1
did.
away.
Remember that 2 minute mark at the start finish line. 2 minutes right now.
And Jamie Nielsen is back, I believe, at the dock.
He is back at the dock. The crew is on board.
So a 4-boat Heat 3A from Par Lumber. Tate in lane 1, Shane in lane 2. Perkins is outside in lane number 4, so that could leave Henderson lane number 3 unless Perkins starts to slide over towards Shane. We'll see.
We've had a strobe warning on the home street and on Bert Henderson, and that was
Really?
clearly at the top end of the course when Shane pretty much dropped off plane. It's 1:30, and
They're early.
Tate's down here early. That's my mark right there, and he's there at 1:22.
Look, he's going out wide, too.
But you watch him. Kevin, watch him. He's going to come right back to the inside lane.
He is. Oh, he's not going to give it up because he knows Jimmy Shane will try to take advantage of him. I'm trying to see the strobe light. I don't think that's blinking yet. I can't quite tell off the top of that boat.
It's so hard
Watch
to
Bert.
see.
There goes Bert. He's coming across.
He's going to cut here, but it's not going to get him lane 1.
No, he was just behind everybody.
He just was behind. It's going to get him lane 3 maybe unless Perkins dumps down, but no, he'll be on the outside of the 1 and the 6.
Yeah. 45 seconds, Michael.
So Tate in the Delta Reel track right now exactly across from the Bosch Thermador start-finish line here in lane number 1. Jimmy Shane just crossed that score-up buoy on the backstretch in the home street, the 6.
30 seconds.
Perkins is up with Tate near the entrance pin to Freedom Equipment Rental, turn number 3. Henderson is starting to catch the field now, coming up from behind in that bright red boat, the Boitano Homes entry. Round the top end of the course.
15. About a 9-second run off that buoy.
And they are at exit pin
10.
of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Tate in lane number 1. Shane in lane number 2. Henderson's going to take 3. Perkins in lane number 4.
3, 2, 1.
It's a clean start. Perkins has some nice boat speed on the outside. You can see Jimmy Shane picking up speed in lane number 2.
But coming down here on the outside, it's going to be Bert Henderson going to get down here first flying the boat. Got about 2 boat lengths on Jimmy Shane, but Shane's inside of him, and then Tate's in there somewhere, Kevin.
And they're bouncing out of turn 2, and Shane comes up as tight as he can into lane 1 and heads down the backstretch with the lead. Tate on the inside, Henderson on the outside, battling for second.
Tate had a real bumpy ride coming through Agri-Service turn number 1 into Tire Factory turn number 2. Had to back off the throttle. That allowed Jimmy Shane to shot put out in front. Nice run for Jimmy Shane in lane number 2. Now we'll see with smooth water at the top end of the course into Freedom Equipment Rental turn number 3. If Andrew Tate can gain some ground on the inside lane on Jimmy Shane in lane number 2. Henderson's in 3rd, Perkins in 4th. Jimmy Shane holds on to the lead by about a half a rooster tail as they come down the front stretch. Tate's trying to gain on him, but Shane has some straightaway speed. This is a nice, solid race down the front stretch, but it's going to be Jimmy Shane, your race leader, and watch Henderson on the outside. He's got momentum.
Into lap number 2. We've been heard from the officials the start was illegal, so everybody's good. Tate hanging right with him, Kevin.
Absolutely. He has lane 1, but he's bouncing around inside of there off of Shane. And Shane can just punch the throttle down the backstretch, and he's got about a rooster tail and a half lead with Bert Henderson about 2 rooster tails behind the 1.
And Kevin, you mentioned it. The rough water might be inside. Tate's really having trouble getting through that bottom end of the course in lane number 1.
And Shane's pinning him in there, too. That's what we talked about before the start.
Yeah, you could tell. You said 30 feet 1 inch is where Shane's going to be. I'd imagine he's about 30 feet 1 inch.
And I think Tate just went outside.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, if you remember back in Madison, Tate he was inside, and he just got caught. And coming down to that lane was Shane right there. So
Shane's going to take, Jimmy Shane in the home street's going to take over lane number 1. Tate in lane number 2. Henderson in lane number 3. The question is, can Henderson now catch Tate? Wow, look at Tate flying it down the front stretch, back and forth on the sponsons.
Yeah, he's really got a lot of air underneath that U1 Delta rail track. And I'll tell you what, Bert Henderson's got him in his sights. I don't think he can run him down, but he's going to give it a go, Kevin.
They're out lanes 3 and 4. Nobody in lane 1 as Tate flying down the backstretch. Henderson going way out wide. Struggling out there, and so Tate gonna fly the boat down the backstretch. Here comes Perkin on the inside.
Gonna say, keep an eye on Brian. He went to the inside.
That boat is barely touching the water at the front.
Jimmy Shane into turn number 3, top end of the course. Just a perfect run in 3A, brought to you by Par Lumber. Bounces a little bit wide at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Tate is just coming around 4 now. He's going to swing it way out wide in the Delta Reel track, and he's back about 3 rooster tails now as the white flag is out for Jimmy Shane, and Shane backs off the throttle a little bit coming across the start-finish line as he had a lot of air underneath the boat. But there's no way Andrew Tate's going to catch him. It's Jimmy Shane's race to win in Heat 3A from Par Lumber.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Kevin, keep an eye on our race for 3rd, because they're going to get down here after Tate and Shane, and this first turn is going to be lumpy. Keep an eye on these two as Perkins flies the boat at the entrance buoy.
It's bumpy for the two that are with nobody around, and look what it's going to be for Perkins on the inside. He's going to take the lead for the 3rd place race heading out of the exit pit. And Henderson going to try to gun it down the outside, down the back stretch. They are deck to deck down the back.
And Perkins with the lead coming up the back stretch for that 3rd place finish. At the top end of the course, it's Jimmy Shane in the home street, the 6, into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. And he's going to come extremely wide out of the exit pin in lane number 3. That forces Andrew Tate even farther out. He was outside in lane number 5, actually, as he'll take the checkered flag for Par Lumber Heat 3A. Jimmy Shane in the home street. Delta Reel track will take 2nd place across the Bosch Thermador appliance start-finish line. And it's Brian Perkins holding on to 3rd place down the front stretch. Perkins will take 3rd place in the Payne West Darrell Strong Presents. 4th place for Bert Henderson, Boitano Homes in 3A from Par Lumber.
What a run by Perkins.
Yeah, I know everybody's talking about Tate and Shane on that one, and for sure, but Brian Perkins just jamming that brand new boat in some really rough water down here in turn 1, and he pulled off a 3rd place finish. Kevin, you had an awesome view of him flying that 99.9 coming right at you.
Well, when we saw the 3 boats, they're battling kind of that first 2 laps. Perkins was kind of running on the outside, but once everybody vacated lane 1, Perkins took it and used that short track around the course to get up to Henderson, and he had the boat speed and the ability to keep it tight to take that lead here at turn 2 and down the backstretch.
It's exactly what we talked about before the heat. You're saying, you know, the inside lane's the advantage. Yes, it sure is. Shortest way around. But boy, if it gets rough down there, it can be a detriment. So he really took a chance, but he wanted to win. He knew that was his only opportunity, was to throw it in lane 1, drive through the ocean, and he made it work. It's a great job for that new hull.
All right, Brad, looking ahead to Heat 4A, 4B, and the final, if Andrew Tate's on the inside in the Delta Reel track, the 1, how can you beat Jimmy Shane?
You got another combination you're going to throw at him.
Okay.
And, you know, we've seen it before. Last year here, Andrew Tate could not beat Jimmy Shane to save his life. You only beat him once. Oh, that would have been the final. And you save that one combination, the one you got that is going to give you the best. But we also talked before the heat about it's an opportunity for them to measure themselves. So Andrew and the U1 team, they know exactly now what they've got to do.
Yeah, they learned a lot in that one.
Now
they learned Mr. Shane is really fast.
No question.
Well, just how fast, gentlemen, the top speed during that race happened in lap 2, and that's where the U6 Miss Home Street took advantage and took the lead for good. Shane topped out at 154.8. So that is also another measurement that all the other boats are going to have to look at, is in a race condition. The U6 got up to 154.8 in lap number 2, and that's where they took advantage and took the lead, and they didn't relinquish.
I'm going to ask this question live on the air here. Glenn Vaughan, are you down here on the dock?
I am down here. I'm splitting the difference right now between Andrew Tate and Brian Perkins.
Okay. Do you want me to grab Jimmy?
Yeah, if you've got him, you go for it.
Yeah, I think I can get him here real quick. I'll just keep talking here. He's taking the helmet off right now.
It is a busy place
looking for
there.
other.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is no easy feat trying to elbow your way through because we've got,
All the boats on the water.
well, all with the
Okay, let me
exception of the
jump.
11.
Let me jump in here real quick if I can. I've got Jimmy Shane. Sorry, Jimmy. We're trying to get all this media straight, but the end result seems to be the same. Your boat, we were just talking about it as I was running down. I was trying to describe it, and the best I came up with was it's really fast.
It's fast, a great boat ride. I mean, the boat just handles amazingly. So, very well balanced boat. It's actually a lot rougher out there than what it looks. There's not much wind, but what happens, the water lays down and there's not much current today. The boat rollers just stay there from the wakes that we make ourselves. And so you're coming down there and the water's all nice and smooth, and all of a sudden you hit a patch of these huge rollers and the boat just starts taking off on you. So you got to be aware of it. It is really nice conditions today, but it's going to be challenging with 7 boats out there in the final.
And I noticed you talked about the boat being balanced. The way I see that is you were packing a lot of air coming down the front chute, but the boat was staying flat, staying parallel to the water just the way you want it. Fly it.
That's exactly what you want. You want a nice level ride. You want the boat to fly level, a couple inches above the water, and that's exactly what the Miss Home Street is doing. Our setup is really, really good right now for this course, and we're going to keep doing what we've been doing, and hopefully we can keep putting them down.
And you got an opportunity to measure yourself against Andrew, and you had him in lane 1 and were able to keep the lead in lane 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I say, the boat's got some legs, the boat's got speed. We wanted to see how we could measure up against Andrew that heat. We know they're really, really fast, so I had a little bit more momentum at the start than he did. He got up there a little bit early on his timing marks. I ended up getting a warning for going 80 miles an hour, and he was way ahead of me, so not sure how that really works out, but you know, it was a great run for the Miss Home Street, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing.
Congratulations, another win. We'll talk to you later on in the day, my friend.
Hey, Brad.
Jimmy Shane, yes, go.
Brad, we're down here with Andrew Tate, and Andrew, I want to say thank you. You might not have come in first, but boy, great job kicking off Sunday's Unlimited Action. That was a fun race to watch.
Yeah, it was a fun, and the home street boat beat us to this, and that was the difference. All she wrote.
How would you just better condition?
Morning, they were great. I didn't have any problems with the boat. Typical little bit of down in turn 1 here, but other than
How would you, you know, it's been kind of a challenging weekend because it doesn't matter what heat draw you get. There are some really good boats, really good drivers out there. It's going to make for a fun weekend.
yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, as a racer or a competitor, you want to go out there and race heat in and heat out against the best, and we got a lot of the best guys here, and hopefully for everyone, I know I'm having fun driving.
All right, Andrew, we'll let you go. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Great job, Brad Lewis and Glenn Boggin down in the pits, our A1 refrigeration pit reporters. Go ahead.
Yeah, I standing here. Normally we don't try and grab the 3rd place winner, but it's hard to work for it. I think we better talk to Brian Perk. Brad, boat. What can you say about your crew giving you the piece that you just run?
Guys, they just keep working and working and working, and steady improvement time out. You know, there's still a lot more we have to do to make it better, but just having a boat that feels comfortable enough to drive on the inside of somebody, that's a huge step. And you know, it's one step at a time. You know, you got to walk before you can run, kind of thing. So we're getting there. We're walking pretty good, but we're ready to run.
Yeah, you're walking pretty fast, and you just brought up the other thing I wanted to ask you about. Was that your idea to drive into that soup down here in lane 1, or your radio guy say it's open?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you can see how far out Bert was running, and you know, he's doing it to stay out of the slop, and it's a lot easier to drive out there, but we're sitting on the bubble. We're 1 out of the trailer position for the final. So we gotta beat somebody. And sorry, Bert, but you're the guy.
You were the guy. Go get out of the hot soup. Great run. With the fans were hooting and hollering, and I can tell you, when you went around on the inside and got Bert down the backstretch, the whole shoreline up there was just hooting and screaming. It was fun.
It was fun. You know, the Payne West boat, these guys, like I say, they just keep at it. We're going to go make some more changes. You know, I'm getting a lot more comfortable in the boat. You know, it's just fun to run here. Having Daryl and Vanessa and Payne West, we feel like a hometown boat, and Tri-Cities definitely does it right. So thanks, everybody.
You are very welcome. You did it right. Congratulations, young man. We'll talk later.
Thanks. See ya.
Brian Perkins, our third place finisher, and like he said, he had enough confidence in the boat to throw it in the lane one. And you guys maybe can't see it up there, but Kevin and I will attest for you. It was an ocean when he went in there in that inside lane. Great stuff. Up to you, Michael.
By the way, we do have a $250 fine that's going to be imposed on the driver of the 1 Delta Real Track, Andrew Tate, for failing to maintain a lane at the end of lap 1 in turn number 2. That would be at the upper end of the course.
Yep, $250 lighter, and we are looking at the official.
Remember when he jumped outside?
Yeah, that was it. That was it when he got dinged that way. So the crane's working overtime, pulling the Heat 3A boats out.
Special
and
thanks.
putting the 3B boats in.
Special thanks to our title sponsor, Farmers Exchange, bring you all the action on News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com with Ready, Set, Mow savings. All mowers are on special pricing right now. Walk-behinds, riders, zero turns from Toro, Husqvarna, Gravely, and more. You'll find them all at Farmers Exchange, and great service after the sale. 95 years in downtown Kennewick, 215 West Canal Drive, and online it's mowerhome.com. Also, thanks to Bosch Thermador Appliances. Pick any 3 qualifying Bosch appliances. Get up to a 15% rebate. Bosch Appliances offer perfection in every detail. Take a time out. More coverage coming up. 3B, thanks to Par Lumber, next on News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com.
The key to success is always having options. It's also the key to happiness. If you're looking for both, head to JMC Motorsports and check out the new Honda CRF 250L and CRF 250L Rally. These bikes are up for anything, trail or street. You'll be thrilled with the fuel-injected single-cylinder engine, complete with an electric starter, counterbalance, and double overhead cams. You'll get awesome fuel economy with smooth, consistent power packing loads of low and mid-range torque. And they're even available with optional anti-lock brakes. Both bikes are light and maneuverable with an upright seating position and long travel suspension front and rear, designed to handle rocky trails and rough commutes. And with the CRF 250L Rally, you also get a larger fuel tank, Dakar-style bodywork, handguard, skid plate, and more. So give yourself some options and see the Honda CRF 250L and CRF 250L Rally. Available now at JMC Motorsports just across the Cable Bridge in Pasco.
Oh no! Do you have a ding or a scratch or been in a fender bender? Then go see the You Bend 'em, We Mend 'em guys at Kennewick Auto Body. Whether you need automotive repair, auto restoration, or painting, they have affordable solutions for you. Their paint shop is on site and they're dedicated to environmentally friendly services, and they paint almost anything. Kennewick Auto Body, your collision specialists at 509-586-2016 or at KennewickAutoBody.com. Remember, you bend them, we mend them at Kennewick Auto Body.
This is Jake Musser from Trucks and Auto Auctions in Pasco. When it's time to sell your car, we have buyers. We host auctions twice a month just off 395 at Argent across from CBC. We also find buyers for trailers, motorhomes, motorcycles, and even airplanes. For just $100, we will handle everything from consignment to sell. Trucks and Auto Auctions. It's simple, safe, and secure. Do you have a unique, one-of-a-kind asset and want the best representation? Stop by for a custom proposal. Call today, 509-AUCTION, or log on to TriCityAA.com.
Highlands Organic Market is your health food oasis, providing you with the largest variety of health foods and supplements in the Tri-Cities. If you need help achieving a better night's sleep, dealing with day-to-day stress, curbing your cravings, or fighting pain and inflammation, they have options for you and so much more. Highlands Organic Market has all natural formulas that you will feel good about using because they are good for you. Mention Waterfallies and get a free sample of CBD with 0 THC. They're your source for safe CBD. Highlands Organic Market. They'll help you crave natural.
Get a taste of Vegas in the Tri-Cities at the Crazy Moose Casino, 20th and A Streets in Pasco. Las Vegas-style table games with over $1 million in progressive jackpots paid out so far this year. Come in to spin the wheel of cash that pays out up to $500 instantly, plus awesome daily gaming promos. They've got amazing food, a full-service bar, TVs to watch all your favorite sports and teams. The Crazy Moose Casino at 20th and A Streets in Pasco is a taste of Vegas in your backyard. It might surprise you to find out there isn't much difference between carnivores and vegetarians. They both eat vegetables. It's just that vegetarians eat salad while carnivores eat what eats salad. Stock up on your favorite salad-eating specimens at McCary Meats on Road 170 in Basin City. Get it ground, filleted as a roast, loin, or flank. leg bone in or bone out, and however thick or thin you want it. McCary Meats, the first choice of carnivores since 1968. Call today, 509-269-4488, and make sure you like them on Facebook.
I'm Jim Milbauer. I believe that service to others is the rent you pay for the privilege of living in a wonderful community. I want to continue to work towards policy objectives with the sole purpose of achieving practical solutions that improve our quality of life. I invite you to show your continued support for our community by voting Jim Milbauer for Kennewick City Council, position number 7, this coming August 6th. Your community, your voice, your vote. Vote Jim Milbauer for Kennewick City Council, position 7.
Paid for by the committee to elect Milbauer for Kennewick.
Dana Lash. Whenever we have a discussion about culture war, this is what comes from a culture war that is lost. Strong parents in the household, a strong family unit. When you don't have that, this can be the result. When you have a culture that treats life as expendable as the latest fashion trends, you have a problem. This is why the culture war is important.
The Dana Show. Weekdays at 10 a.m. on News Radio 610 KONA.
Your Tri-Cities Morning News, weekdays with Jenna and Glenn. In any room you want. Just say, Alexa, open KONA.
And now, more boat racing action from the Columbia River. It's the 2019 HAPO Columbia Cup. Presented by Farmers Exchange on 610 KONA. Here is Michael McDonald.
Much more than power equipment. You'll find great advice for your lawn, fertilizer, grass seed that's made just for the Tri-Cities. It's patented only at Farmers Exchange. 95 years in downtown Kennewick. Farmers Exchange online at mowerhome.com. And also you find the Gravely zero-turn riding mowers with a Kawasaki engine. Durability, dependability, operator comfort. It's what it's all about with Gravely. 3-year warranty. Find out more at Farmers Exchange and mowerhome.com. Also, thanks to our Shell Sun Pacific Energy stations. The Sun Market at Interstate 82 in Clearwater is now open with the Firehouse subs inside where you can fill up with the Shell B-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. All right, so let's go down to the Neil F. Lamson pits and our A1 refrigeration pit crew, Glenn Boggin, Brad Luce, as we get ready for Heat 3B, brought to you by Par Lumber.
Let's go boat racing, guys. 5 minutes and 35 seconds. 30 now.
All right, let's go over the lineup. The 3, Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, Jimmy King. Along with the 12, Graham Trucking, J. Michael Kelly. Graham Trucking American Dream, the 98 with Corey Peabody. It'll be Dustin Eccles in the bucket list 440. And the 1918 Oberto Super Salami with Jeff Bernard. Tire Factory turn number 2, not a whole lot of wind, and we heard some of the drivers talking about the conditions out there, Kevin.
And Jimmy Sheen almost said it was like too calm with those rolls not really getting out. But we'll be interested to see J. Michael Kelly, who loves, as the 5-minute gun goes, the J. Michael Kelly, who loves lane 1. We saw what happened with Andrew Tate in lane 1. Does he still fight for it? I can't imagine he has any other gear, but will it pay off when he fights for it?
You know, the other thing we heard, and I thought was fascinating, was that Jimmy Shane felt that there wasn't as much current today that was kind of moving the bad water downstream.
Well, we have 4 boats away from the dock waiting on the 440 as J. Michael Kelly dumps into lane 1 to start us off at Tire Factory turn 2. The 1918 right behind him with Jeff Bernard and the Super Salami. Got the gorgeous paint scheme. And then the 3, there's the 440s away, 98 there. So we got all 5 boats on the course.
Well, I think, Brad Luce, that J. Michael Kelly is set up where he wants to be in the 12 Graham Trucking.
If he's sitting in lane 1, he's where he wants to be. His
exactly.
problem is my watch says 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So lots going to happen here. And I'm real interested to see how this heat plays out. This one could be a lot of fun. There's a lot of speed out there. Keep your eye on that 1918 and Jeff Bernard.
You know, the other thing we did not see, nobody in 3A from Par Lumber cut across the infield, and now immediately we get 2 boats coming across the ESCO Electric DMZ. And that's going to be Bernard along with King.
Interesting. Well, we know King's start procedure, and he says, I don't want to slow down that big Allison piston motor. He got to keep it about 120 miles an hour, so he's definitely got a different start procedure from the rest of them. But he's going to come down here first with 3 minutes and 20 seconds until the start, and a big cheer goes up here on the sideline as everybody loves the Turbinator. Jimmy King to the entrance pin at 310 and over to Kevin.
And he is taking it kind of easy right now. He's not trying to get it as slow down as the 1918 and some of the other boats, but he's still not quite at full bore. 1918 will follow along in lane 1 right behind him, and the 12 cutting across the Esco Electric infield. Not going to be able to get lane 1 out of it, though.
No, his good friend Jeff Bernard said, no, thank you. No, thank you. Those two have been teammates. Those two, if you had $1 for every heat they'd ever run together in every class, you'd be a wealthy individual.
Now, does Jimmy King cut across the infield again in the Terminator?
I think he's too early. Except the way he does it, who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
It's 2:30 right now.
440 coming off plane and dying right here in front of me in turn 2.
How far did he get off the course, Kevin?
He pushed it out pretty wide.
He did. He tried to get out as wide as he could. And the current might help him slightly keep him out there.
All right, Jimmy's found the gas pedal now as he comes down with 210. Remember our number there, Michael. And he's got his foot in it.
He does. So Jimmy King and the Terminator across the Bosch Thermador start-finish line.
Getting a little air underneath him, too, coming across the start-finish.
And you've got... Oh, cutting across the infield. Yeah, that's a really exciting move. And right into the wake is Corey Peabody.
King's across the infield, too, down here.
Came right up behind Jeff Bernard. And now he's going to slide outside of the Graham Trucking and J. Michael Kelly.
Those are about the closest 3 friends you could pull together and stick out there in the race course.
But here's Jimmy King cutting across the infield.
Yep.
Yeah, he wants to join the other 3, I think.
At $120, 120. So I like where everybody sits. Bernard's in 1.
Now will Jimmy King cut across again?
He might do that.
Let's watch.
Let's watch.
Let's see. It's going to be tight if he does.
He can go now.
He does not.
Not going to do it.
No, he'll just stick himself into lane 3. So the 1918 will be in lane 1. The 12 will be in lane 2. I'd imagine the 3 ends up around lane 3, and the 98 will be out in lane 4. Dustin Eccles, unfortunately, getting a close-up view of the park over here on the Pasco side.
And Kevin, is he well off the course now?
He is well off the course. There is
so we don't
need space.
We don't need to worry about that. Okay.
43 seconds.
Boats are staged on the back stretch. It'll be the Super Salami, the 1918 with Jeff Bernard in lane number 1. Graham Trucking, J. Michael Kelly, the 12 in lane number 2. Jimmy King and the Griggs Presents Miss A's Hardware in lane number 3. And on the outside, Graham Trucking American Dream with Corey Peabody as they get
20 seconds
to the top end of the course into Freedom Equipment Rentals turn number 3 on News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com. Into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. And they are on the front stretch. Jimmy King
5
in lane number 3 is going to fall back a little bit.
1.
Looks like a clean start, and it's going to be J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2 in the lead. Watch Bernard on the inside, King on the outside. Bernard's falling back in the Oberto a little bit. 2 boats heading into turn number 1 for Agri-Service.
Kelly's got to get down here first with about a 3-boat lead. Keep in mind, guys, the start is under review.
Oh, that will make things interesting. But the King and the U3 on the outside started to gain some ground on the 12 with J. Michael Kelly. Jeff Bernard in the 1918, a distant 3rd.
Up the backstretch, J. Michael Kelly with the lead by about a half a rooster tail. You can see Jimmy King on the outside, not really gaining ground up the backstretch. Nice run by the 1918, the Obordo Super Salami in 3rd place for Jeff Bernard, and Corey Peabody has fallen back in the 98 Graham Trucking American Dream into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. J. Michael Kelly at the exit pin now. And there comes Jimmy King in the 3, the Terminator. Bernard and the Super Salami has fallen back. A couple of rooster tails now. It's a half a rooster tail lane for JMK in the Graham heading down the front stretch. Jimmy King and the Terminator out on his right hip.
Solid boat ride for JMK, and he's got about half a rooster. We got a 1-minute penalty on J. Michael.
Oh no!
So this is Jimmy King's race to win if he can hold off the 1918. J-Mike a little bit outside of lane 1, I think, trying to find smoother waters, but the 3 knows he doesn't need to run as hard as he could need to.
Yeah, radio crews have probably told him that it is a 1-minute penalty on the 12 Graham Trucking, J. Michael Kelly.
He jumped the gun.
He was a little bit early at the start. It was extremely close, but the video review showed that he was over early. So J. Michael Kelly on the course is your race leader coming out of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Back about a rooster tail now is the 3. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware with Jimmy King. Both coming across the Bosch Thermador appliance start-finish line.
Kelly's flying it down here. He knows he's got the penalty, but he's still going to keep his foot in it. These things sometimes get reviewed, and he's packing an awful lot of air into the boat. Kevin, keep an eye on him.
He is walking the spots as he bounces around on a turn 2. Flying on the inside. Not quite tight to the buoy line, but still lane 1. And the 3 coming up behind him, a couple rooster tails behind. 1918 coming out of turn 2 right now, too. He's also on the inside. Everybody's sort of getting in a little bit of a line between about lane 1 or lane 2.
So J. Michael Kelly, a little bit early at the start with a 1-minute penalty, now with a 2 rooster tail lead over Jimmy King in the Griggs presents Miss 8 Hardware coming into Freedom Equipment Rental turn number 3. J. Michael Kelly now at the exit pin of our turn number 4 for Buffalo Brothers. He is the leader on the race course, but he was early at the start.
And it looks like everybody's kind of backed off a little bit on the speed, knowing that their positions are fairly well settled.
And white flag flies as Kelly flies. He's really got a lot of air underneath that race boat. He's still driving it hard. As he's to the entrance pin, he'll come down. But Kevin, let's follow our leader, and he's right in front of me right now, the Terminator, living up to its name.
Oh, the 12 bouncing entirely out of the water for a moment. Wonder if J. Michael Kelly going to try to see if he can get a minute ahead of Corey Peabody. See if he can get Corey Peabody to be a minute behind, and then he snags third. But it is Jimmy King flying down the backstretch, our leader.
Yep, he's trying to beat that 1-minute penalty by hitting it hard.
Yeah, I think Peabody doesn't have the same level of speed, so it takes him a little more than a minute to get around this course. So J. Michael Kelly, if he can get to about 3/4 of a lap lead, he might get that minute that he needs to be in front of Peabody.
Let me know when he crosses.
Wow, a lot of compression noise for J. Michael Kelly in the Graham Trucking in the 12 coming across the start-finish line. Oh, the Terminator went off plane. It's going to be Bernard and the Super Salami moving into first place. Oh, what a tough break for Jimmy King in the Griggs Ace Hardware Terminator, the 3 dead in the water. So it's the 1918 with Jeff Bernard claiming the checkered flag. Wow, that is huge. And Corey Peabody is coming up the back stretch.
So he will be second. Here comes J. Michael Kelly coming up on him hard.
Yeah, it's depending on that minute penalty that JMK has to see where we finish on the clock.
40 seconds. Tell me when Corey crosses.
Corey Peabody's at the exit pin of Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, and JMK is going to try to put him a lap down coming up the front stretch. He's running an extra lap.
Tell me when he crosses.
Well, you got J. Michael Kelly crossing again, and now Corey Peabody now.
I got it at 58 seconds. What'd you get?
Oh, my goodness.
We got 2 of us with 58 seconds.
Oh,
he needed to
2
catch him
seconds.
to get over a minute.
We're going to have to wait till the officials write it up, but what a horrible turn of events for Jimmy King and the piston-powered boat. That was their race to win.
That it really was, and the disappointing for the Terminator. They had that was going to, almost about lock them into the final. And now they're not going to get anything out of this heat. And they're going to be battling with some of the folks down in the 5, 6, 7 range to see if they can stay in that final heat.
Wow, what an amazing turn of events. First we get J. Michael Kelly early at the start-finish line in the 12 Graham Trucking. And Jimmy King really wasn't pressing it that hard and ends up having some sort of catastrophic failure on the final lap in the final turn and unable to get the checkered flag.
Well, and then
instead it'll be Jeff Bernard, the 3B winner.
Even before that, the 440 didn't get going either.
Right.
So
tough break for Dustin Eccles, who last season was perfect. Every heat that he started, he finished.
Guys, we just got official word down here, and I know this is Heat 3B that just ran, but Heat 3A is clean. Everybody has cleared the tech truck, so put those numbers. Yeah, that finish order that we had in pencil, you can go ahead and put that in pen. You guys were talking about the 3, the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, all the way up at the far end of the race course from us. But I'll tell you what, down here atop the pit tower, it sounded like a fireworks show was going on up there with all the popping going on. That's really a tough break.
And Brad, I honestly thought that it was compression noise coming out of the 12, but instead it must have been noise from the 3 even farther up into the west end turn that we were hearing.
Yeah, I think that was, well, clearly now, that was definitely the turbo, not the turbine. And standing here with H1 officials, and we're both coming to the conclusion that the 58 seconds we had, of course, that's all unofficial.
Okay, Brad, I'm going to cut you off here because we do have the results here in front of us. It looks like J. Michael Kelly won that heat. He will come in first place. Jeff Bernard in second. Corey Peabody with third place. And then, of course, a did not finish for Jimmy King, did not start, Dustin Eccles.
That's interesting.
So 3B will go to J. Michael Kelly because of catching the Oberto at the end there.
Yeah, I'm
confused about what we're seeing on the screen.
Yeah, I am too, because I'm standing with an H1 official and he hasn't been told yet.
Because didn't the 1918 was the one that would have, in theory, inherited that win?
Yes.
Yes, but J. Michael Kelly caught him at the line, and they were running about 57 to 60-second laps.
That was the 98, though, right?
Yeah, that's the 98, not the 1918.
Not the 1918.
It would still be Bernard.
It should be Bernard.
Well, we're looking at...
I mean, I'm looking at their Twitter, too, and they're saying that it's the 12, but I just... Unless there was a penalty on the 1918...
Yeah, we've got official word now. Oberto is the winner. This the sheet that we're seeing here is going to be changed after the penalty is assessed.
Okay, all right.
So just to make sure I understand down here on the docks, it was the 1918 that won.
Well, we don't have it official yet, Glenn.
Okay.
And there's four of us standing here waiting for an answer, and everybody's hanging on.
We're staring at the screen, and as of right now, J. Michael Kelly is your winner of Heat 3B. But we're getting scuttle that it is the 1918. So who knows? We're going to have to wait for the official word to come down, but the sheet in front of us says the 12 is 1. The 1918, 2, and the 98 is 3 as of right now.
Well, this is this is enormous because you know, wherever the 12 finishes, I mean, for between first and third, they're going to want those points, and there's a big difference between first and third.
I think I can safely say that the 440 didn't start. And the 3 didn't finish. That I can tell you.
What an unfortunate break for Jimmy King. Big points up for grabs in that heat.
So, well, I've got my spreadsheet ready to go whenever we get sort of official-ish word that will.
Well, and then, Kevin, just like Brad had mentioned, they still have to review everything in the tech truck as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're still waiting on finish order on the water here.
Again, the sheet, I'm almost positive they just haven't assessed that penalty on the sheet that we've seen yet, and they'll get to that in a moment. They're probably discussing upstairs exactly how they're going to put that on the report that they file.
I think that's what's happening, that they haven't yet assessed that. Now, I was in sales, guys, my entire career.
Yes, Brad?
And so a sales guy, you always look for the silver lining, right?
Okay, what is it?
All right, the silver lining is for Charlie Grigg. That boat is going to get towed past every fan here on the Kennewick side of the river. And Jimmy King is going to be out there leading the cheers. So fans up and down the shoreline, good photo op coming for Jimmy King, and give it up for him when he comes by, because, boy, have they been putting on a show. And they're not done.
Yeah, and they are approaching the start-finish line, coming in front of our location. And they
wave at Jimmy King.
Yeah, plenty of fans getting a good look at the
bright red turbinator.
Yeah, that's right.
And I would imagine for our